what it was. I sat on the balcony. I couldn't think of the name. In the hotel room there, our condo. And it was 11. We was up on the 11th floor, so it's probably, I don't know, I averaged out probably 100, 120 feet in the air from the ground, and had a railing around it. And you know, you walk up to that railing, you know the railing's there, you feel safe, but still, you look all the way down, you still get that feeling, you know, in your stomach and a fear. And I remember the first time that, you know, you walk up to it, you make sure the railing's safe. Still, every time you walk up to it, you're still concerned. But that railing is a safety point for you. But then I was sitting there one day, probably reading or something, and I was just sitting there in that chair, and all of a sudden this little bird just flew up right on the edge of that balcony there, between the outside and where the railing was. And I just watched it for a minute, and it hopped over and it jumped on the bottom railing there, you know, that far off the ground, and got through the two slats and come on the inside of that railing. And it just milled around there looking for crumbs, you know, and milled around just a little bit. Didn't have much of a worry in the world, and it kind of went back over to that railing, jumped back up on that bottom rail, went over through the railings and sat on the ledge, 120 feet off the air. It looked around, didn't have no concern, you know. That bird didn't have no fear of what it, you know, that it was that far up. Then all of a sudden it took off. The Lord spoke to me in that and said, I noticed specifically when that bird jumped off that ledge 120 feet in the air, that it didn't immediately start flying. It jumped and went down. It fell just a little bit. And the Lord told me, He said, you know, a bird flying is no more than controlled falling. That's all it is. Controlled falling. It's falling with a purpose. I got to thinking about that.
I like pink.
How that bird didn't have, that railing didn't have no effect to that bird. It didn't care whether that railing was there or not, because it knew, without a shadow of a doubt, when it started to fall, that it had a way of controlling its fall. Amen. It could go wherever it wanted. As a matter of fact, I believe it was sitting there on the ledge thinking, well, where am I going to go next? Where does it look like I can find another crumb? Where does it look like that I can find my next meal? It's like just one of those little sparrows. Never noticed it before that, and when it took off, it dipped, and, you know, until it's got its wings going and everything, that it actually was falling. Flying to a bird is just controlled falling. And we need, it's, you know, falling with a purpose, in other words. It had a reason to jump off. I didn't have no reason to jump off that balcony. Amen? Because I knew I couldn't control my falling once I got to that point. Amen? That God had not equipped me to fly yet. One of these days He will. Amen? But that time it wasn't me. But the Lord spoke to me and said, you know what? That's a problem with a lot of people today. A lot of Christians, a lot of churches. They're afraid to take the leap that I tell them to take, because they're afraid of the falling. Even though I give them the control I give them the command to make the next step. I give them the command, amen, to go to the next step further. I equip them with what they need, just like the bird. Amen. And we need our falling today. I believe we need to take the step, you know, and our step, it's a falling with faith. You know, a lot of people today are afraid, so fearful of failing. And they are. it's in everybody's being, as a human, it's our nature to be afraid of falling or of failing. The Lord is telling me that we need to sometimes take the jump, take the plunge when He tells us to. Amen. That He'll equip us with whatever we need. Amen. To control our flight. Amen. I'm glad I walked in here this morning and heard those testimonies about healing and testimonies about different things that's going on that, it kind of made sense to me to understand what the Lord was talking about. Matter of fact, I wasn't even going to bring this up until the end of the message that the Lord gave to me. But, I felt just so impressed to speak that today, that flying for a bird is just controlled falling. Amen. And we ourselves sometimes won't take the chance or take the opportunity to fall because we're fearful. Amen. Of failing. But the Lord's got us under control. If we're in God's leading, amen, that there's no way that we can fail.
Amen.
Don't get me wrong, doesn't mean that there's not somebody going to be fighting against us. Amen. But if it's the Lord's will, we cannot fail.
Amen.
Turn your Bibles this morning to Psalms 51. I normally preach restoration, Psalms 51, verses 10 through the rest of the chapter. But we've been through that numerous times. The Lord this morning brought something else to my attention through the first 9 verses. So we're going to start out in Psalms 51, chapter 1. Or Psalm 51, verse 1. And honey, Jesus one time come up to a blind man. And what did he do? The blind man wanted to be healed. Jesus could have spoke healing just like He did blind Bartimaeus. He could have spoken into it. But what He tell him? Amen. He took the dust out of the earth. He reached down and took the dust himself and spat in it and made it mud and put it on his eyes. He didn't have to do that.
No. Amen. Amen.
He didn't have to do that. But why did he? The same reason He told a Naaman to dip 7 times in the Jordan. He could have healed him of leprosy just like that. But it's not that. It's determining your faith.
Yes.
You have to do what He says.
Amen.
Jumping off. Amen.
Amen.
When you don't know that you can fly.
Amen. Hallelujah.
But God gives you the wings.
Amen.
Church, I believe we need to have that faith, that kind of faith. And it's hard. It's hard as a human being to have the faith that sometimes it seems that it takes to get to what the Lord is asking us to do. But I tell you, I can feel the faith of this church, this place, and I can feel the faith of God's people starting to rise up.
Amen.
Amen. You know what? Jesus told him to cleanse that mud from his eyes. And what did I believe this is the same instance. He said, what do you see? He said, I see men as trees walking. In other words, I don't see plainly yet.
Right.
What if boys like pink?
Jesus could have healed him the first time.
Yes, He could have. Yeah.
Created. He could have created him new eyes. If that's
Yes.
what he wanted.
Amen.
Sometimes it takes our faith through works.
Yes.
Amen. I don't mean that our works is going to, but sometimes it takes that step on our own faith to see things done. Amen. To see those things done. If I get in my car out there this afternoon, we decide where we're going to eat. And if I get in the car and I start it up, I put it in gear, but if I don't touch that long, skinny pedal,
Come on.
and I'm not going to get too far. But I have faith, that if I touch that pedal and it's going to go, that we'll get to where our destination. And today, church, it's the things that we do in our faith in ourselves. Amen. Our faith has to increase.